This turmoil reigns in the New South Wales government. We should remind Gladys Berejiklian that in 1929 on this day, Stanley Bruce's coalition government fell when the backbencher and former Prime Minister Billy Hughes crossed the floor with the supporters to vote against a motion to expedite the Maritime Industries Bill. Gladys Berejiklian's got a lap full of problems. For one simple reason, she's pig-headed and won't listen to people. Mr Barilaro joins me here in the studio. Good evening. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a rough day for you.
Yeah, look, it's been a very tough day, and I never thought I'd be part of a government that punishes people for standing up for what is right for their communities, their policies. You know, we've seen greyhounds and council mergers in the park. You'd think we'd learn from it. And, you know, I, as the leader of the National Party, stood up tall supporting Chris Galaptis, who was prepared to go to the crossbench, Gurmesh Singh, Wes Fang, Sam Faraway. I represent the party, but the vindictive personal attack on me over the last few days from a number of Liberals, either privately or quietly or publicly calling for me to resign, I find it always amusing that whenever I stand for policy, some Liberal members will ask me to resign because they don't want to debate the policy. They always play the man, not the ball, mate, and that's what it feels like today. The reason we did Yep.
I've just had a note which says, this is from inside Parliament House, I'm told the Premier walked into a room today with Barilaro, Toole, Mitchell and Taylor and said words to the effect, I've never been so disgusted in the 3+ years working with you. Either withdraw your threat or I want your resignation on my desk at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Did that happen?
Well, I think it's on Twitter tonight.
You walked out?
Yeah, look, it was a very abrupt meeting and she's followed up with a statement anyway into the public domain, and it was an opportunity where we thought we could negotiate an outcome, but that wasn't the option. It was a threat that we have till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning to resign as ministers. If not, the threat that she'll go to Government House,
right,
technically sack us and install a new ministry.
And you will say?
Well, look, you know, the party room met tonight. I've just finished on another meeting with the executive of the National Party. I have the full support of the party room and the executive. We'll meet again in the morning. We're not going to rush to a decision right now, Alan. You know, the thing that I'm worried about is, you know, it's very easy for me to give up the ministerial car. You know, if this is about a title, I'll give it up tomorrow. What worries me, if National Party members aren't part of the cabinet, there won't be any outcomes for the regions. We have fought hard for everything.
Well, this is the guts of it, isn't it? I mean, you saw at the last election the National Party in the bush wiped out in many ways. Swings of 24%. It was mostly over water and what the Liberal government here in Macquarie Street had done in relation to water. The shooters and fishers parties bashed you up. Yep. You're now leading the National Party to represent the regions. Yep. And if the National Party can't win seats in the region, there is no Berejiklian government. This woman's cutting off a nose to spite a face.
We've always said it. You know, the Prime Minister John Howard got it. I remember when he won the landslide election, I know there were many Liberals at the time that were urging him that he didn't have to go into coalition, that he could actually govern on his own accord. But John Howard said, but we may be able to do that today, but not at the next election. We'll need the Nationals at some point. You know, we didn't ask for much. All we've asked for is that this issue around koala set be brought forward to an earlier cabinet meeting, one that wasn't scheduled for Monday before the sitting week, so we can discuss the issues that we've raised.
Just to explain to our viewers what this is about, basically, the lefties, the Greenies in the coalition, and the Macquarie Street Liberals are certainly run by the left. Gladys Berejiklian the other day, didn't she say, Barry, she said it'd be a dream if we had zero carbon dioxide emissions. That means you can't breathe. It'd be a dream. I mean, they've all gone left. Now, they were the people who stopped the forest floor being burnt, the national park floor being burnt. As a result, there was all this fuel on the floor and the koala colonies were burnt out.
Absolutely.
Now, all you're saying is they're now saying they're increasing the kind of number of trees which could be regarded as koala habitat from 10 to 123, and farmers are going to have to face the koala police. And this is in areas where these people have never seen a koala.
Absolutely. The data
That's all you're saying.
Well, the data's wrong. And the maps that were released by Minister Stokes and his agency identified a 5,000 square metre shed as a koala habitat, a macadamia farm that's been in place for 60 years as koala habitat, a roundabout on a road as koala habitat. The satellite imagery is wrong.
Yes,
the data is wrong. Yeah, it's all wrong. We've argued that it's wrong. Let's go back to what we're trying to achieve, which is core habitat. The National Party wants to see a thriving koala population. Hopefully we can double the population because we know that there's pressure on the population of koalas. But this does nothing to fix the koala population. What it does, it strangles farmers and businesses and industries in regional rural New South Wales to a point that you'll kill off the farmer to save a koala that actually the CEP does nothing to achieve.
That's right. You want to grow the koala colony, but you're not going to kill the farmer to grow the koala colony. It's pretty simple.
And it's about property rights, Alan.
Yes, property rights.
And this is about allowing a farmer to do what he wants to do. You know, the idea that he can't even stick up a fence or a driveway or an additional dwelling on his property now without going to a very expensive, extensive survey of his property at his expense that can be overridden by the local government and local council. And that's why my members have fought for this. You know, I will always back a member like Chris Kalaptis or Gurmesh Singh when they're fighting on policy for their communities. Right. And that's what we were elected to do. So I could easily
I've seen all this, and I'm saying to my viewers, this is pretty common sense stuff, which he's talking about. No one's anti-koalas. But these people, the lefties, won't listen. Is it true that the Liberal Party now are ringing around some of your people seeking a spill to have you get removed from the leadership?
Yeah, but you know, that happens all the time. I mean, they think that I'm the problem, but I represent the views of my party room. I have the full support of my party room. You had a massive
swing at the last election.
Absolutely.
Has McCormack or Little Proud rung you with support?
No, they haven't. But you know, I have the full support of the party room. I have the full support of the executive. There was motions about that today. It's not about me. You know, I'd give up the role if we get the outcomes.
So what's going to happen tomorrow?
Well, look, I think the idea that we should lose our ministries because we're fighting for our community is wrong.
Well, if we walk away first.
Yeah, but if we've got to walk away from our ministries, it's the regions that miss out. And do I confidently believe a Liberal-only cabinet is going to deliver? So maybe we've got to find a compromise where ministers will remain in ministry, will abide by the cabinet solidarity and its rules.
Will you be speaking to Berejiklian tonight?
I'm trying to find a way forward, and that means working out a compromise for everybody so we can deal with the outcome.
So that the roundabouts aren't koala habitats. Yeah, a simple story.
You know, and to those that today reached out, we've had so much support. You know, this won't be about backing down. Yeah. I can hit a pause button for a second. We'll work it out. But, you know, at some point in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we are going to have to confront the issue about the CEP and koala habitats. If we haven't been able to achieve it over 6 months, we have tried our hardest. What gives me confidence over the 3 weeks, I don't know. But I'm not going to blow up the government. And I'm not going to walk away from our ministerial responsibilities because I know while we're at the table, the regions win. And that is something I'm not going to let go.
Good on you. You're a leader. We're proud of you. Because I'm a bushy too.
I know you are.
The bushies out there don't have anyone to represent them. And all those little lefties in Macquarie Street do not understand. Many of them would never have seen a koala. Thank you for joining us. You've got to race off, I know. All the best. Get a bit of a sleep.
Thank you,
Be ready for the fight tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
There he is. John Barilaro, the Deputy Premier of New South Wales.